So this is a non-traditional guidance, okay? If you don't do non-traditional spiritual guidance, please just let everybody else enjoy it and go somewhere where you feel you belong if you don't do non-traditional spiritual guidance. So I'm going to be sharing some things and even part of a dream I had. I'm doing this video to give a very special thanks to my regular contributors. There are people who donate on a regular, and I recently started getting new people donating through my Cash App. So I want to say thank you very much, especially to Onita, who regularly contributes to the channel. I want to say thank you to Love the Most High and one of our new contributors who contribute a lot, Rhonda. So thank you very much, Rhonda. It's glad to see you. I don't know if I missed you on the contributors list before, but I did notice your name yesterday. So thank you very much for your blessing. So I did get Achieve in Silence and Boundaries, Boundaries, Boundaries. So some of y'all, like me, I was told don't let your right hand know what your left hand's doing. So I've been getting that some people that know me offline, and I get that this is happening to some of y'all who regularly visit the channel. There are people who are keeping track of your breakthroughs. I'm getting that very strongly. Um, they may be somehow watching your energy, so they kind of know. So they're kind of trying to get into your energy space right when they know. So just be real selective. I was told to be very selective in who I entertain, especially anything on technology. So I was told to go slow and consider cutting back using technology where you're doom scrolling or just surfing online a lot, unless it's like for educational purposes. I was told to avoid the uh, uh, the activity that's on these apps that have nothing to do with growth, the growth that I need. I want to talk about intentions. Intentions have to match what you're entertaining. So if you are doing new manifesting scripts today because we have a new moon, then you have to be careful of what you are giving your emotions to, what you are allowing to connect with your feelings. You have to be careful, um, especially if it's someone who seems to be too much of a social butterfly. You have to be careful of dealing with those people right now. Your whatever you emotionally connect to regularly and the most is what you're saying your intentions are. So it doesn't matter what you write down, it doesn't matter what you visualize. If it's not in alignment with your activity, then it's not going to work. Okay? All right. So I didn't get on screen. I didn't get on screen because we have this new moon tonight, and I really want to just set up my boundaries and keep my boundaries intact. If you are focusing more on self care and rest and rejuvenation and just really just enjoying your life and not necessarily chasing money, then rewards are going to come. Okay, if you're not sacrificing your self love, then you're going to attract the things that you want right now. So if you make self care, which is also doing nothing, just chilling, hanging around, doing the things that make you happy, then When you go to search for things that you need to achieve, you're going to find them, or they're going to come to you. I saw a quote, and I always see this quote by Lucille Ball. I always see it like maybe 2 weeks before a new moon or a full moon, and it says, "You have to take care of yourself first. You really can't get nothing done unless you do that." So Lucille Ball, we know how glamorous she was, and that was also a part of why people was mesmerized by her, and why she captivated her audience. It wasn't just her sense of humor. So it's hard to laugh and enjoy yourself and find humor if you aren't making your self-care a priority. So recently I made it my personal goal not to ever sacrifice my sleep again. I also made it my personal goal to eat grains at a bare minimum. Um, I was told there's three type of detoxes we have to do for this moon, and it is a carb and grain detox. Yeah. Um, because if you're feeling bitter about being breadcrumbed or being cheated on or cheated out of something, grains is just going to make the bitterness worse. So uh, having too much grains can actually make you go too hard in standing your ground. You may end up becoming arrogant and pushy. So I think the when I got this as a download to minimize the carbs, which is so funny. I got a letter from my doctor who told me to do the same thing. I wonder if my doctor is spiritual. I think my doctor may be a oracle. But she was right on time when she said minimize the carbs and grains. She said at least for the next 6 to 8 weeks. And that's funny because that's like right in time with the type of elemental energy that we're getting that needs to be dominant. So she was right on time with that guidance. My my doctor is a female doctor, and so her letter was like a synchronicity. I think her letter was actually a message from the angels. That was their way of like putting it right in my face, because I was being hard hit with the download. But it is what it is. Sometimes we're hard hit. We don't listen to God. We think we can get around it, and it come right back to telling us no. So I was told detox with the carbs and the grains, and I got that as a synchronicity more than once. I also got um, make sure you have some travel time in. I got you need to feel like you're having a vacation. That's what I got. So we have to do things that would make us feel like we're on vacation. Because the mind doesn't know the difference. The mind doesn't know. It only goes by what it feels, and then the mind generates information to match the feeling. So if it feels like it's on a vacation, it's going to generate information that says, yes, you're on vacation. But it's also going to start to send out signals. Your consciousness is going to send out signals to attract things related to vacation so that you can better have a vacation. The thing is you are not your environment. You are what you accept of your environment. And you do not have to accept a lot of your environment. If you don't like your environment, you can be there at a minimum. That way it doesn't dominate your powers. Okay? It isn't the leading force. So I was told don't jump on a trend of, oh, you need to have the glamorous environment first, and then then the manifestation will work. No, we have to remember that there has been people living under bridges who met famous people, and suddenly they're world renowned, like the radio guy, the homeless radio guy. Um, the creator doesn't care what environment you're in. The creator only cares about how you use your power. That is it. Okay? So, um, if you are in an environment that you feel is going against your manifestation powers or doesn't serve it, if you think it don't, then look at the small percentage of this serving it, because you wouldn't be there if it didn't serve it at all. Okay? So work with the percentage of that environment that is serving your manifestation powers, and then go get the rest of the percentage of the power somewhere else. Okay? All right. I will be having some wonderful resources for y'all from here on out that will help you to understand about manifesting and law of attraction in a way that you're not being told, like I just told you. You have to look at law of attraction also like a banker, like someone who has a scale. You have to weigh your life. And if it's not an abundant in weight, okay, if it doesn't just drop on that side, then most likely it's not going to happen. Okay? This is why some of the best books have been written at coffee shops. I'm going to give you an example. Some of the best books have been written at coffee shops and libraries. Why? Because they're surrounded by knowledge. Do you know? Because I can do it. I can do it. So I know that you can do it. If you learn how to rest more in a world full of chaos around you, you know how to still rest like the world is not there. When you learn that technique, that's an expert level of meditating. That's a whole nother level of you able to meditate in a room of chaos. I can do that without force, without struggle. When you're able to do that, you will be able to access information from books around you without ever touching them. Okay? Without ever even opening them. Or you might just hold them in your hand for a moment and the information will come to you. It may not come to you the way it is in the book, but it's going to come to you in a way that the Creator wants you to deliver it to the world. You want to get to that level of manifesting. But you can't get to it until you can meditate and feel completely safe. And I'm not talking about meditate where you're going like, I'm going to sleep. I'm talking about what you're doing with your chakras while you're wide awake. Okay? Being able to, this is going to sound very strange, absorb a lot of the stillness in the room, and that be what you take from the room. And then that is who you are in that moment. And then that means nothing can be withheld from you that is of the Creator. Okay, when you ask with passion and emotion, the answer will come through something around you. Or something that you recently was around. I have a wonderful article that I really think you all need to get. Okay? This all I'm giving y'all is like a teaser from my article. This is a teaser from it, little nibbles, but the whole thing is important, and I'm expanding on it today. I thought I was done, but woo, I'm still working on this same PDF. It's shocking. I guess it wasn't done. The Creator just wanted me to rest for a bit. But I am going to be explaining a few things of that y'all haven't been told, okay? And I know some of y'all may think that people who are obviously rich in cash are the people qualified to teach you. But that's not who's qualified to teach you. It's the people who seem to be covered in everything. And I am. I am one of those people. I'm literally covered in everything. Money just comes to me. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, I'm manifesting it live on this video. Money literally just comes to me. Opportunities just come to me. If I say I missed a class and I need it for free, or I need to take it again, the teacher will give it to me for free, or she'll give me a playback of it for free. I get put on the list of grants without even asking. People signing me up for grants and things like that. The point that I'm saying is, you want to learn from people. I'm gonna get into the rest of the guidance. You want to learn from people who are destined to always have their needs taken care of, and always have the money that they need. And I'm one of those people. And any psychic that read on me will tell you, yes, she is, because I have paid off my karmic debt. I don't owe any debt to the other side. I don't owe any. So in this life, I'm here to help people spiritually. That is what my number one thing. And to awaken people spiritually through creativity. And I have to do that so that other people can be able to get this type of life where they don't have to worry. Long as that they have peace deep inside them, and they believe in the peaceful feeling, they know that they're taken care of, and they will be. The point that I'm making with that is, it's harder to manifest, even if you're talented and gifted, when you can't find peace in the middle of a storm. That's a challenge. And you have to be able to do that. I saw a quote today on TV that said, acting on impulses holds you as a hostage to gossip and ridicule. That's what the lady was saying. Credit go to whoever said that quote. They didn't say who the writer was, but once you know what will give you internal peace, then you know you don't have to act on impulses. And then you'll realize that you don't have to worry about, your needs will be taken care of. So for example, I was resting the last few days, and I told myself my needs is taken care of, so I'm not really worried. I wasn't like trying to manifest it by the law of assumption. That's not what I was doing. See, there's those who assume, and then there's those who actually know. Okay, there's the dark way of saying, I assume that my needs. But then there's the knowing, because you know thyself. So I was like, well, I know thyself, and I know the work that I've done, and I know why I did it. So I know I'm taken care of. Like, I know that I didn't do it in a way to get karmic debt. I know that I had ethics and morals when I did it. I know I didn't cross anybody's boundaries when I did it, when I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm good. So I'm just going to chill. That's what I said. I'm just going to chill. I know I'm okay. I'm covered. So then I said, everything I got, everything I need is already in me, and I already have. So I'm good. And next thing I know, all this help started coming towards me. Random money started coming, family members wanting to help. All these synchronicities came at me. I'm talking about one after another, after another, after another. Everything I was thinking about doing, everything I was planning to do was coming in my email box, opportunity after opportunity. And any answers I needed with my diet, all of a sudden I had the answers, even though I never heard them from anybody. What I realized is that you get help when you're not passively a beggar. You have to know that what you have works. And you have to focus on what's working for you. If you dwell on what's not working, then that negative, that low vibrational takes over the space. If you say, well, this is working because I'm further than I was before. I'm further than I was before, and I know who I was when I was doing it. And I've already put so much out in the world, so I know that I'm covered. See, the Creator doesn't forget what you've done. The Creator, the forces around you, does not forget what you have released already. When you have released in favor of the entire world, not just yourself, and you have released so much, even over like 3-4 months. If you say, well, I know that I'm covered because I already earned it because what I released. I already earned it in my metaphysical space, so the physical thing has got to come. I earned it. All my hard work I didn't put out there, that's sitting on Amazon, that's sitting on YouTube, that's sitting on TikTok, sitting on, people are going to be pulled to that work because I must be paid for it. I must get what I already got for it in my metaphysical world. Because I showed I did it with ethics and moral and respect, I already got paid for it. When I really came to understand this over the last few months, it was like, wow, that's deep. Like, the value is already ringing all around you. And that shining of the value of the money, of the thing that you did, that you released into the world, people who find you will sense the value. And they will sense the value also because they will have access to other levels of enlightenment. Value always brings people to other levels of enlightenment. So when they get to those levels of enlightenment, then they know for sure the value of what you released. And those who are destined to remind you that you are covered and favored, they will remind you of it. If they're chosen to remind you of it, they will then give you the physical version of what's in your metaphysical space. Now understand, there are signs that's telling you that these people is going to give you the physical version. For example, okay, let me give you an example. Before I got my last random gift, I kept seeing certain numbers. We're not talking about angel numbers, which that also confirms it too. I'm talking about a certain number, a certain number. So I kept seeing like 3010, 3010. Now, everybody say, yeah, 3 is a new beginning, okay? But when you seeing those ones, that also means, if you want to get into angel numbers, that also means one with thyself. That means you're in alignment with your metaphysical space. You're completely in alignment. As long as you can keep that alignment, and you keep that energy of peace, of knowing you're okay. That's why you're in alignment with your higher self, that your self that has no worries. When you keep that, then there's no blocks on whatever you're trying to manifest. It's not blocked. So when I kept seeing the ones, and I knew, I said, but I wasn't like I was like looking at the clock trying to see it. I saw it right when I was in a vibration, I guess, of the angels, where I had no worries and fear at all. It was like almost like I was a child, like a little kid knows their mom is going to make them breakfast and wash them up. I was in that energy. It was childish, yeah. Somebody might say it was childish because I'm grown, but it was the energy I had to be in to assure alignment with my fear-free self. So if anyone's trying to tell you during this new moon how to start a new vision or how to manifest, you must connect to the child in you. That is really it for the energy, for the vibration. Okay? Because if you're the version of you that doesn't have the worries that you have now, it is feeling like a child. Okay? It is feeling like a child at a playground. It is saying, I know someone's going to buy me clothes, buy me school clothes. I know someone's... It's in that energy. Now, I know some of y'all say, well, I don't have any parents to help me get to that feeling. Or I don't live with my parents, or my parents are toxic. But you have the entire world to get you to that feeling. You have to see the world as one big Walmart. It's like one big grocery store. And you have to see it as there's days where it's like all free. All free as far as there's tables where it's just trying to get rid of the overstock. It's practically free according to what you would pay. You have to see the world as that. Because if you don't, the world can block you from your manifestation. If you block other people energetically, they will block you back energetically, even without saying words. This is only something I really realized when I would not see that certain people was ignorant when they was tricked to betray me. They actually was coming from fear, and I wasn't considering that. And because they felt like I should have known what happened to them, why they was like, scared to speak up for me, they blocked me. They took it like I was blocking them. But when I accepted that they was a fool, and I was a fool to keep dealing with them, when I accepted the whole situation, nobody was blocked. They wasn't blocked no more. I wasn't blocked no more. Energetically. And it got so interesting because everything that I thought that I wanted at the moment, that day, they literally brought to my house. And I had like an aha moment. I said, okay, when I did not consider the reason for being fooled, they grew bitter towards me. And I was already bitter towards them. So all we were doing is putting up walls. So neither one of us can attract each other's manifestation to each other. So I said, I'm gonna be the one to tear down the wall for the sake of both of us. So I decided, I said, I'm gonna see that they was ignorant, they was foolish, and they was a coward. And I was one before. It's sad to say that I was a casualty of their cowardness. But I'm sure somebody was a casualty when I was a coward. Okay? When I was a coward, when I didn't speak up, when I saw certain people going through it at work, I was a coward. Okay? I remember my early jobs. I would see people laughed at and made fun of on the job. When I was a teenager, I never said nothing because I was a coward. The point that I'm making is you really can't hold people in a vice grip for the mistakes they made when you have made mistakes. What you can do is send them along their way, but you don't set up energy walls out of anger and outrage, because they're just going to set up walls in front of you too. They're just going to do the same. Okay? even because people feel like they should be allowed to be wrong and make mistakes. People feel that way. And when you when you put up walls out of anger and bitterness, and you keep them locked energetically because you're outraged, they say, hey, why you have the audacity to do this to me energetically when you're not perfect either? So it gets to a point where you're like, I'm not necessarily going to forgive you, but I'm not going to block your energy, because I know that whatever you're supposed to get, you're going to get. So I don't need to come at you. I need to protect myself from being blocked by you, and I need to keep from blocking you so you're not tempted to block me. This is this is the real stuff. So vision boards and law of attraction don't matter if you are still marinating in anger and rage towards people who can still sense your anger and rage for what they've done. Release yourself from the battlefield. You don't have to fight energetically with anyone. You don't have to go shield to shield with anyone energetically. When you go on with your life, doing the things that make you happy, and that was a quote I got, and I feel like it changed my life forever. I saw a quote the other day that said, it said, we're here to be happy. That's it." I saw a quote. I saw a quote that said that, and I said, that's like so short, but it's so true. But yeah, we're here to be happy, and once you just go on and be happy, you know, do things that make you happy, then the people that wronged you, they won't receive any anger type of energy from you, and they won't even be tempted to block you energetically. Actually, they might even be scared to block you. I know you have been told your people attack you when you're happy. People attack you when they think they know will make you unhappy. But when they see that your happiness is unstoppable, that no matter what grimy thing they did, you're still like happy, then they'll move on to somebody else, because you don't seem so vulnerable. Because if they think they did the worst to you already and you're still happy, then they're not even going to bother with doing anything else to you. They'll just feel like it's a waste of their time. You want your manifestation blocker people to feel like it's a waste of their time to even try to block it, because you're staying in happy Looney Tunes la la land, no matter what they did. Okay, what anybody's saying about you, you're still staying there. And this is why happiness is all about just knowing thyself. And when you know thyself, you cannot be blocked from things that is important for your survival. Like living in a home that works well. See, that is a bad home, when it doesn't work as well. It's not the size, it's not the year, it's not what it's made of. It's if it's working well for your energy. If it's not, then it's a bad home. Then it needs then it should have a small percentage of your time. Okay? I keep talking about environment because I was getting visions of saints who were living in like caves, like Nostradamus. He was in some sort of like stone room too. I got in the vision. I want y'all to understand that if you're feeling like you're blocked from success, you might not be given gratitude for the fact that your environment is not even blocking you. Maybe you think it's your environment, but ask yourself, when you had no one in your life, you weren't dealing with anyone, was you still blocked? If it was a no, then it wasn't your environment. Like I used to think where I live at was like blocking me. But as soon as I cut everybody out my life for like almost a year, I realized it wasn't the environment, it was the people. It was the people who was visiting me, and who I was visiting. Okay? Everything that's ugly ain't wicked. Everything old ain't wicked. Old homes, every old home out here ain't wicked. Every I'm serious, this is the realest talk because I lived in an apartment that was so nice. Yet I was a zombie the whole time. I can remember feeling like I was getting possessed several times. And this house was nice. Brand new carpets, brand new walls. It was a nice apartment. My daughter was a little baby, but everything was going wrong. I wasn't attracting no money. I couldn't find no job. It was like pure hell. But every day I put my key and went into a very nice apartment. And every time I think about that, I be like, woo! Because it's not about the apartment. It is the landline. See? It is the love that was put in that home already. The spirits that was in that home before you got there. It is the energy that's coming up to your feet in that location. It is the way the sun enters your home. If it's not really able to get in on certain parts of the compass, then the house is in a more negative vibration. Okay? I'm helping y'all to understand this. So instead of trying to rush and sitting in introspection saying, I'm thinking about just leaving this village, I'm thinking about just moving out, because some of y'all going to be taking a leap of leaps. I've told y'all, everybody do this around a new moon. They let things go. They say, I'm starting something new. I'm going to live with somebody new, or I'm going to meet somebody new. I'm going to get in a new relationship. But you better assess the energy very carefully, because you may be leaving something that was abundant for you. And maybe you just got shiny object syndrome. You're just thinking like what you're seeing is the be all and end all. You know, when I lived in my brand new spanking new apartment when my daughter was a baby, I didn't know none of this stuff I'm telling y'all. I couldn't access the records. I couldn't write the things I write. I was nowhere near vibrationally at the level that I'm at now. Yet, if somebody saw me down the street, how humble I dress, they would think that I'm probably ignorant, insane, and don't know nothing. If people saw that I drove a used car, they would probably say, oh, she don't know about making money. She don't know about, but they don't know that I sit around and money just come to me. It really do. Gifts just come to me. People will call me and be like, you okay? It's almost like I send them radars out to everybody. Like, I'm tired, need somebody to make me dinner. Oh, what's up? Let me make you dinner. That happens to me all the time. People don't know this, but people are stuck in looking at the outside. And we have to get past that. We have to look at what we consider ourselves at the bottom is a blessing in disguise. Because when you got a big shiny house, you have a more responsibility to that house. You put thousands of dollars in it, thousands of dollars. Expensive sofas, expensive furniture, expensive stuff. And then when money suddenly gets tight, you hate yourself. You're mad. You're outraged. You say, I should have stayed living with my mom. I should have kept renting out her basement. Why did I ever do this? See, the point is the world is your home. You don't need a bigger home. You need the world. You need to just start living your life. You need a comfortable, peaceful place to sleep, a little personal, spiritual place, a creative place, and you need the world. And when you go here and you say, I just want to live my life with the world, whatever you think at home and people, whatever, it will be almost like they vanish, like they're just ghosts around you. Like, for example, when my toxic relatives died, I didn't even realize I didn't talk to them for 3 years. I was like, where did the years go? But I was going to karaoke, I was going skating, I was going dancing, I was getting my hair done every 2 weeks, I was buying myself something nice every month, I was celebrating my life. So they didn't exist to me anymore. And you can do the same thing with your living situation. Some of y'all have told me you're living in cars. I read some of y'all comments. I'm living out of my car. I'm living with my grandmother. I had to move in with my sister and my kids. If you have to move in with your sister and your kids, do you know how lucky you are? You literally have someone to split the rent with. You can literally just do your chores and stay away from there all day and never have to worry about pulling the rent by yourself. You literally have more money to keep, to do more things you enjoy. This is why the Creator said, go and be fruitful. That also means like sharing the load, the work, sharing it. But if you're like just me, myself, and I all the time, you'll see it gets difficult to manifest. If you shut out the world, if you shut out resources, if you're thinking negative about every app online and everything, and always in this negative mindset about society, you're shutting the world out. So can you really complain that your manifestation is not coming? Of course it's not going to come. I avoid now in all negative, any videos that's like, the society is this, you're stuck, you're this and that, you're never going to get nowhere, we're all cooked, this is hell. I avoid listening to those people. Because you know what? Some of those people are sitting on a lot of money that they inherited. Or they're sitting on a fat government pension check that they're getting, or Lockman's check that they're getting. So they really don't care how negative they get. They're just using the negative talk to get fans, to trauma bond. You know your trauma. You don't need nobody reminding you of it every day of your life. It blocks manifestation. So if you're trying to do the law of attraction, very first thing is, I'm not going to associate with any negativity, any negative talking, of any battle between the Trump versus Kamala, white versus black, none of it. The rich versus poor, I'm not even going to hear it. I want to stay in a child's energy. That's what I want to do. And I opened the book and the quote came out. So this is the synchronicity. Have you ever felt bitter about something difficult that's happened to you? Y'all said the word bitter. So it is, if you're into scriptures, it is in the scriptures. You might want to look at your Bible. It's Ephesians chapter 4 to the 31st verse. That's the synchronicities. So the Holy Spirit is giving us Corinthians 2, chapter 11 to the 3rd verse, Ephesians chapter 4 to the 31st verse, and any of the chapters about forgiveness. So this is a record that's on the metaphysical space that's being put in our face. You know what I found out? If you're trying to have a staycation or vacation, you ain't had one if you're bitter and angry doing it. If you're all angry inside or bitter doing it, you didn't have no vacation. You know, people will say, I'm on vacation, I'm detoxing from technology, but then they'll sit in anger. One thing I do if I feel like I'm having a hard time purging any bitterness, any new bitterness, I will literally burn incense that are for water signs. So I might hold like obsidian, like I guess Scorpio, to block someone's energy. Because sometimes somebody who did you wrong is sending their energy to you, and that's why you can't stop being bitter. So obsidian will help to set up boundaries. So in my guidance, I always give something to religious people. I just gave y'all the chapters of the Bible, the synchronicity, but I also got to help people who are not biblical. There's some people who are not religious, but they like the stones. So I would say obsidian, um, clear quartz, and lavender. Uh, but when you go to sleep tonight, I would consider wearing tiger's eye to protect you from evil spirits and uh, negative energy that likes to attack you in the night. Um, so if you're restless, if you feel like your sleep is getting shorter, like you're only getting 5 hours of sleep, then you should consider washing your tiger's eye, sitting it in the moonlight tonight. If you're up late, and then tomorrow wear the tiger's eye for protection. Hi everybody. Yeah, the bitterness. I know personally that anytime I can always tell when certain people are going to call me because I'll get this little bit of bitterness towards them. And it'll be always the same people who did me real dirty. And I'd be like, why are they tapping into my energy? And then they'll be on my voice message, or they'll be like ready to knock on my door, or they sent me a text message, and I'll be like, woo. Um, if you ever feel bitter towards someone who you haven't seen in a while, I always say that most likely they're gossiping about you, or they're trashing your name. They're trashing your reputation, whether it's in their mind or in some sort of social group. Let's say they did you wrong 2 years ago, but all of a sudden you start getting real bitter again about it. Like it get real strong. There's something going on with them mistreating your energy on the spiritual plane. It could be an earthbound spirit that died doing that to you. It don't always got to be somebody living this disrespecting your energy. So, um, so what I do is when I feel like somebody's trying to make me think toxic and negative, um, because how they did me, I know I'll burn me some sage first. I'll clear up the air. Okay. Um, I'm gonna tell you something only recently I learned. If you're really trying to get into your powers very strongly, you have to have a space that you should consider having a space that no one can access but you. It's so important because everybody is suspect for harvesting your energy, and they could be doing things behind your back. And because you love them, you're not intuitively picking it up yet. It might be a while before you do, until they do you wrong a whole lot. Then you start to sense what they're doing. But just to make sure that your powers, your whatever you're using your power for, your power level is protected. You want to have a space that they can't access, or you need to go somewhere to do your work that no one knows you're going. So, for example, when August Wilson wrote his book Fences, I think that's the book he wrote. Um, he always went alone, and he always went to the library, and he never had anyone join him. And he was very, very secretive about that. I bet you any money if he was running around the Hill District telling everybody and he was like, chilling with his parents, he would have struggled writing that book. So another thing that I saw in in the quotes that was shown to me is that if you ever doubt that you can't succeed in what you're doing, think of someone who's been in your predicament who's done it. So you can always use that to say to people, hey, don't tell me I can't do it. There's people who was in my same position that done it. You can get that one person, just name that one person, tell yourself. So for example, I know people who was in toxic families like me, who had to who had an abusive parent or a deadbeat dad, a trifling father figure like Charles Bukowski had. I had one. I had my father was a grandiose narcissist, and he would give me extreme anxiety from his narcissism. He would go in a rage like that. If you spoke up for yourself for 1 second, he would go into a rage. But when he was around people, he always pretended like he was a civilized guy. He was much like Charles Bukowski's dad. Okay. I remember years ago, I heard the Holy Spirit tell me to get Charles Bukowski's book, and I couldn't understand why. So I always held on to the book. I held on to his book for over 20, I think 20 something. I got his book before my daughter was born. Then I think I'll probably be buried with the book, because it's a book that really, it was like one of the first signs that told me that it was possible for me as a writer, because someone else made it as a writer, and they know exactly how I feel. So I didn't know, though. I was young at the time. I didn't know how significant um, his his book would be, the story behind his life. And what's interesting is that I ended up writing something about him in one of my most remarkable poems. I had a publisher and a mentor, a writing professor, tell me that my poem was remarkable, and Charles Bukowski is featured in the poem. And then there's another poem I wrote for a master class, poetry class, and it's also a vision I had of Charles Bukowski. But the point that I'm making is the proof of the evidence that your situation is serving you, it has already come. And if you ever doubt it, you need to go and look at your old stuff. Some of them are little signs that it's, and yeah, some of y'all may be like, I've been on this path for 20 years. Guess what? The people who know your life, who had a similar life, they were too. They were too. There's probably just something that you're not doing that they did, that made it go faster at some point. For some of y'all, it could be a resource that you're not using, that they were using, or a part of your lifestyle, a part of their lifestyle you don't have. That's why you're not quite as abundant as them, and the breakthroughs aren't coming as fast as it came for them, or as abundant as it came for them. It's not coming for you. So if you're unsure, now here's what I say. If I was going to do a reading for myself during the new moon, it would be on who has come to serve me. That's what I'd be looking for, because the Creator sent people to serve you that's in some way important for a manifestation of yours. So I would be trying to look and find out who the spirits are in my atmosphere. And who is a synchronicity? Who keeps coming as a synchronicity in my newsfeed? I'll be looking at that stuff right now. I'd probably do multiple readings over days and note the synchronicities so I can kind of figure it out. So for example, we're talking about writers. Okay? I don't know if some of y'all like operas. If you like writing operas or plays or screenplays, this is a good time to get into something like that. If you like fashion design, or art, fashionable art. Okay? Art that's flowery. That could actually work in your favor right now, or, yeah. Okay? If you're into creating that. Drama, family, romance stories, things like that. So I'm just going to show y'all what I'm talking about here. I'm just going to pull one card. This is not from the tarot. This is actually for art. We're going to find out. Okay, so for me, okay, I'm going to give me as an example. This guy here keeps coming out. So Hemingway's spirit is visiting me. His soul be in my house. Okay? He has showed up out of nowhere on different apps I was on. He has come out this deck about 4 or 5 times. It don't no matter how I cut the deck. It's really interesting. Even people be inviting me to like do things similar to what he was doing. So he's definitely a spirit that he might be a angel guide of mine, a guide. Okay? You'll always have guides that's related to your life purpose. And they'll be your muses. So he's obviously a muse of mine. Interesting. Okay. I literally heard Hemingway. I heard his name an hour ago. I heard Hemingway. It was him. Then he came out. I saw a flash of him as I cut the deck, and then after I shuffled the deck, I turned the deck over, there he was again. Now, sometimes it's people's energy coming towards you, and they're still alive. And I can explain how can someone be your guide and they're still alive. I could explain that in a workshop. Okay. All right. So, I heard distinctive earlier, so this is making sense. I don't know if someone's into contemporary, but Lydia Davis, contemporary writer. She was just her card just flew out the deck. Okay, so I'll give one more. J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is out. She's 9 of diamonds. Contemporary. Okay, so I gave something for writers. Believe it or not, people may not think it, but June and July can be a very abundant time for writers. Lots of literary resources, literary opportunities, festivals. And then it comes back around like in like October, November, it happens again for writers. Oh, hi, Braven. Okay. So let me do some for the artists. I know some of y'all came for the non-traditional part. So I just gave something with the writers. J.K. Rowling came out. Contemporary, three cards was for contemporary and 2 was for modern, for the writers. So I don't know if there's any modern writers here. All right. I said marriage and drama and family. Hemingway is out. So Alfred Hitchcock is out here. So that's for movies. Ace of Diamonds. Woo, child. Okay. So that could be a lot of different, like, shorter work, because Earth energy is short. Normally it is when it comes to Taurus and Goat. But I think that his mysteries was around family too, right? Or something like that, I think. About that, y'all. We got momentarily disconnected. So Alfred Hitchcock is okay. Sorry about the disconnection. My phone overheated. So the color black could be significant. All right. Yeah. So somebody can actually use Alfred Hitchcock as a muse or inspiration for their work, or as a teacher, as an educator, to help them to teach them how to write their screenplays or their movies. Alfred Hitchcock is out here. Okay. We're gonna. Hi, Flick. Hi, baby. Hi, Bubba. Hi, Bubba. And my kitty cat is out. Let's see what else here. Come out here. Go ahead, Bubba. Okay, the 10 of Diamonds is the Coen brothers, crime in action. So somebody might actually get successful creating something that has to do with crime in action. It doesn't have to be. It could be little short screenplays or little acts, or it's little pieces of work, articles. Crime in action. Okay. So I just did that one. Now I did get take action. Saturn is in Aries. So some of y'all are being pushed to take some leaps. You're being pushed. So some of y'all may be attracting resources that will give you the push that you need to take a leap. It could be like resources you need for self-care. Some of y'all may suddenly get money through women, feminine. The female energy is giving back right now. So make sure y'all have respect for females, okay? If you have a YouTube channel, don't put nothing on your channel talking bad about older women or mature women. Be positive, okay? If you're if you have a mother, if you don't have nothing nice to say about her, don't say nothing at all. Okay? The feminine energy is providing support. The Empress is. Okay. Some of y'all are learning a tough lesson about some traditions but supposed to stay. Okay? About having respect for your body, and respect for your emotional care, and respect for your sexuality. So some of y'all are practicing maybe being celibate for a while, and that's actually working in your favor. When it gets into the Cancer energy with the Cancer moon, it requires you to be mindful of your moods and find healthy ways to express your emotions. You may feel, some of y'all may feel like you on the edge. That's Saturn and Aries. Like you could beat somebody up or something. This would be a good time if you feel those little bursts of like you ready to beat up everybody who did you wrong. You might want to take a kickboxing class or uh, take a yoga class or go swimming so you can clear out your emotions. You're gonna have to take care of your heart health. Just be careful of your stomach. I was told lungs and stomach. So make sure that you're doing your breath work, your meditation breath work outdoors where your lungs can get cleared out. Or burn frankincense. Frankincense is really good for cancer energy. So if you have a cancer sun or cancer moon or cancer career or cancer destiny, frankincense is going to work really good for you right now. And the lavender. But I definitely would, and the peas lazuli will work for you right now for your emotional stability. Okay. Told y'all with help. So luck is on your side. I got today earlier. So yeah. If you were thinking about selling some sort of creative resource or was something that you're emotionally that you're passionate about, if you're thinking of selling that, it could actually end up becoming very successful. I got the number 3 for 3 months, 3 to 9 months. Someone's going to be successful in something here. If you were thinking of starting a fashion or beauty channel, okay, that Saturn energy could be you being pushed to take the leap. Okay, it came out again. Luck is on your side. There it is. Moon in Sagittarius. If you were thinking of selling photography, and with Sagittarius, all those paintbrushes and paper publications. If you were into publications or painting or traveling, travel photography. Some of y'all may actually become successful in travel photography. Or if you have a hidden talent in cooking, outdoor cooking though, because that's heat and fire. Outdoor grilling or cooking on a grill or barbecue. Hi, everybody. Yeah. Forgive, but you gotta also get out the way of karma. You know, um, I'm finally burying my dad's ashes because I'm like, the memory of his toxicity is not holding me hostage no more. No more. So I'm having a ceremony, and the ceremony going to be a forgiveness too. And that's going to be that. And his ashes is going to be buried. And I also decided not to keep anybody that died who did me wrong. I'm not keeping nothing of theirs. Forgiveness means letting go, but it also means letting go of the people's stuff. So you have to bury their things or burn their things or get rid of their things, sell their things too. Okay, there's going to be a vision that you have to hold on to today. I heard silence, quiet is important. So don't be so quick to play classical music or things like that. Let the silence lead you to um, the downloads that you need to get. If it's too hot, we have a really bad heat wave where I'm at. And if you can't get outside because you can't take the heat, just sit on your porch for 10 minutes and let the sun sit on you for 10 minutes. Get your 10 minutes of sun in. That's it. Okay? You'll be okay with 10 minutes of sun. And then get you a white light therapy lamp. You can get one off of off of Amazon. It looks like this. See this? And you're going to sit in front of it for 30 minutes. It's going to give you the skylight and the clearing. Is going to clear out your crown chakra. It's going to give your crown chakra the care that it needs without you having to go outside. And then you can always burn your sage or your frankincense at the same time. If you have asthma and you can't go outside because it's too hot, get you a white therapy lamp and have you some tropical fruit. Okay, so there's a powerful change here. The new moon is going to come with some sort of powerful change. Talking to somebody about a problem, it's not going to get nowhere. Some of y'all got somebody that's not going to come clean, so you might as well. They want forgiveness without ever admitting to what they did. They don't want to fess up. They don't want to say what they did. So you might as well stop arguing with the people. I got somebody in my life that's like that right now. They keep playing dumb about what they did. And yet I saw it with my own eyes, but they keep playing dumb. All right, there's a new start coming. If you were thinking of starting a new YouTube channel with the Saturn being in Aries, the push. Okay. Do you have a backbone? Or are you going to stand on business? That's why Saturn is trying to teach you to stand on business. Aries is Emperor energy. Okay, stand with your own power. You know your power. You know your worth. You know your strength. Stand for what you're strong in. Anything that you're weak in, you don't even got time to wait. You don't even waste your time on it. If it's real weak, it's been real difficult to manifest through something, don't waste your time on it. Basically, if it's not bringing you value, then you need to step away from it. Now, some people might say that's an opportunist. Not if you already delivered. If you already gave to it, then it's its turn to give to you. And until it gives to you, until it gives back to you what you have earned, you stay away from it. That even goes for any of your online businesses. You put out, when you're not making no money, that's not the time to just keep going harder. No. See, people often think like that. That's that casino, low vibrational casino energy. If you know, then you just spent 3 hours on the casino machine, then you know what? You say, I'm done. Okay? Until I sense something else is going to give me money, I'm not coming to the casino machine room. Yeah, give rather than take. Give rather than take. If you've been, yes, hard work is paying off. That's right under it. Hard work is paying off. Yeah. So if you're giving guidance, helping and all that today, don't break your back over the next 3 days. Don't go real hard. You let people show you who they are, and to give back to you. I'm giving back by doing this. I'm giving back by I'm going to pay for this art workshop. This guy, he's trying to make a living off of being an art teacher. He's a good art teacher, so I'm going to actually put $10 on his workshop today. So believe in the impossible. Believe in the impossible. Y'all know I said Capricorn energy earlier. There it is. There it is. Virgo. Okay. If you are not sure what to give to the world needs knowledge right now. The world needs knowledge, and it needs literature, and it needs wisdom. So that's what you're supposed to be trying to manifest right now. It needs you to think analytical um, about what you're doing. Okay, but because I saw Virgo. Why I see Virgo? Okay, there it is. I saw it before I saw it. I saw it on the metaphysical plane. I saw the word Virgo. Time to give rather than take. Donate. When you see Virgo energy, it also means whatever you're not using, you need to give away to somebody. Like the movie Clueless, when she was like donating and she was joining charity. So find some sort of charity group. If you have some stuff, you might want to hold a bazaar and like say 20% of the profit will go towards your favorite charity. If you don't know what a bazaar is, for some, it could be like you're having an outdoor event where you're selling different things, or you have a bunch of pop-up shops there, and you're telling everybody at least 20-30% is going towards, you're saying a certain percentage is going to charity. It also means give back to your ministers. For some of y'all, you have to give back to people who have supported your marriage. If anybody has given you a marital gift, a marriage gift, or have you have benefited from, your marriage have benefited from something, you need to get back to it. Also, if your property has benefited from it. Let's say you were able to buy a product because of what was of money that you earned through some sort of business, then you need to get back. That includes any side hustles and things like that, like small businesses. If you have invested your time and money in something like stocks or bonds, and you got a big payout, some of y'all going to get a big payout. It could be this product you're putting out, and you're going to notice like this tidal wave of success. You have to give back. You can't just collect it, just keep banking it. For some of y'all, you have to give back to the psychic or creative world. Virgos tend to be, they could be hermits or magicians, and they could be like show you light the way. So if there's people in the dark and they're like they don't know how to get through something, they need clarity, you need to give them the clarity. One way to find out what people need, and there's an angel number that came out for that. It said help people with their needs or whatever. One way to find out is to go to get some oracles, and then let the energy of the oracle tell you whether it's weak or strong. If it's not strong, then it's obviously connected to something with somebody, with the people, with the collective need, what people need. So I'll give an example here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give an example from the Spirit Guide Oracle deck. Okay, yeah, there's a father figure. I saw father's love. Brotherly love as well. Some of y'all may want to send something to your brother, or people who are prisoners of war, people who are sick. You want to give back to them or help them. Yeah. People that may have like terminal illnesses. People that may have a lot of kids to take care of, or you want to like give to them. Mothers, you might want to donate some diapers or something of that nature, or donate like some milk. Buy some milk, or buy some infant meal, whatever, and drop it off at your local charity or something of that nature. Also a blanket. If you know, buy somebody a blanket, buy a blanket and give it to a homeless person, so he'll have a blanket this winter. Do something like that. Blankets for homeless people, or soup. If you have canned soup that you're not eating, definitely donate that with the cancer energy. Okay, if you have canned soup in your cabinet that has not expired, drop it in your local donation bin. Okay, so this one is hello from heaven. All right, there's some symbols, signs, and symbols coming here. The color yellow is important. Butterfly. Some of y'all are in introspection type of energy. There's a lot of hermit energy coming out here with Cancer, Virgo, and a lot of hermit. Old energy. So gratitude is out here. It came out, y'all. Gratitude. All right. It doesn't feel like it's struggling. I didn't feel any. Some of y'all are learning a tough lesson that more doesn't mean more. Doesn't mean more. So some of y'all got to make your boat lighter. Find a way to make your boat lighter. Update your home, or update your wardrobe, or maybe start a new look, or get a new style, or something. Get a new image. Upgrade your image. Also, make connections in the community. Okay. All right. I also got attend gatherings and parties. I got that, y'all. Especially musicals or plays or comedy shows and things like that. You might want to take your date out, or your boo or your husband, to a comedy show, or to see a new Disney movie or fantasy film. Okay, let's see here, y'all. I just felt like I wanted to believe. The force that works through your soul. Okay, heart chakra. That would be Libra energy. Libra, and I think Taurus can be that too. And Leo, I think Leo can also have to do with the heart chakra. My cats is messing with everything in here. If you feel alone, there's somebody with you. Some of y'all got a female on the other side with you. There she go. I said Libra and she came out. Yeah. There is a female, an older lady on the other side that's helping you to keep faith. Okay. For some of y'all, it's a mother or a grandmother. These cats are not respecting my boundaries at all. They're like babies. All right, there's a relationship that is an opportunity for growth. So consider what relationships you have with people. For some of y'all, somebody's teaching you how to be independent. They're pushing you into your power. It could be somebody of your flesh and blood or your own spouse. They're pushing you into taking a leap. Okay, there's a gift coming here. Congratulations, there's a gift. You are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others. Okay. Just ask. If you need help today, ask the Holy Spirit for help, and it's going to come. It's definitely going to come through your technology. It may even come through movies. Okay, so if you're drawn to watch a certain series, like Netflix series, take note of the synchronicities that's in the movies. Write down anything that's matching your thoughts. Because this is blue. Yeah. It might come through creative apps too. Apps that got like workshops and social clubs and stuff. There's synchronicities there. If you ask for help when you go to them, you're going to notice that the answers is there. The resources that has the solutions to your problems, they're there. Okay, so go outside and feast off the trees and nature. Like go where there's some grass at, or flowers at, or like yes, yellow, or like where there's sun, and let yourself definitely do some breath work while you're in the sun. Okay. There's some studying that needs to be done today. Bust out your books. You could be called to learn something, learning old things in a new way, or learning something totally new. So some of y'all may learn a art form, but in a new way of doing it. And these resources is coming through apps or workshops, or they're in your email. Okay, they could be mail invitations. You're getting letters from or emails that got these resources or solutions. It could be mature people. These are mature people that's giving you these solutions. So if you're looking at the picture, the profile pics of these resources, do these people look like they're over 30? If they do, they look like they're 30 and up, then they're probably one of your muses or guides. This people that's still alive. That's supposed to give you solutions and help you. Okay, be careful of self-sabotage. You may not be seeing the inspiration, or you may be stuck on seeing is believing rather than feeling is believing or something. So just be careful of the sabotage. But it could be that somebody is bringing your spirits down. So if you got something bringing your spirits down, you have to avoid it today, because it's going to make you self-sabotage. Accept responsibility for your life. Intuitive wisdom that's inside you, and apply it positively, constructively to your outside world. Okay, so some of y'all need to accept that you got some losses or some lost resources, and you have to get clarity on how you did it and why it happened, so that you don't do it again. You don't lose these resources again. If you need help today, you have to ask for it. Don't just try to wing it. It says reach out. If you don't understand how to create something, or you don't understand, you're having a hard time learning something or making something work, you have to ask for help. So you might want to look in some books or teachers to help you out. Intuitive nudges came out. Your third eye. Okay, let your intuition be your guide today. Okay, know that you're worthy to receive love. That's at the bottom of the deck. Okay, y'all, so I helped y'all out. I got to get ready to go. Okay, I got to be watching my time here. Yeah, right on time. 9:58 on the clock. So this is for the road here. I felt like I had to stop because I gotta go, and it was right on time. Okay, so 9:58, 9:59. There's something that you're gonna learn today. That it was a hard lesson, and you learned it. Okay, so let's see this other here. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm trying to figure out. I'll just save that for the lunch video. I might show up at lunchtime, y'all. I might do a couple of videos a day since it is the new moon. So I know people be wanting guidance and help. But remember boundaries, y'all. Make sure that you're protecting your boundaries. All right, I did. I don't want people thinking I'm playing favorites. I did give some Bible, some Christian Bible chapters, because I know some of y'all don't do the non-traditional readings, but some of y'all like it when I read from the Christian Journal, which I did. Okay, it was about bitterness and forgiveness. That was the synchronicity. I talked about it earlier in the video, and then when I opened the journal, it came. It showed. Okay. All right. I'll see y'all later. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody. If you'd like to send a donation, you can send donations to my Cash App at money sign Coach B Hunter. So if you're looking for things to put on your YouTube channel, if you're starting a YouTube channel, you might want to do videos about taking vacations, about cooking, maybe share your favorite recipe, healing recipes, medicinal recipes, since the Empress of Water is out. So, natural home remedies, homemade fashion. Okay, you might want to go to Walmart and get you some materials to experiment with making something with your own hands, like making your own dress with some yarn or sewing some stuff. If you like to sew, you can take old clothes and cut them up and see if you can make something out of them, and sew it and see what you can come up with. If you don't want to do that, you can just go to your local thrift store, pick out some things that you enjoy, different patterns, silk, velvet, lace, cheap stuff, and see how you can experiment with making an outfit out of it. You know, um, the Empress of Water is crafty. If you're not into crafty stuff, you can always do um, mini art, little artwork that has to do with things around your house. So you can take objects in your house and use them to draw and do watercolor. If you're into letter writing, this is the perfect time to start doing letter writing. The epistle poem, you might want to write a book of epistle poems. That would be a nice project to start. Postcard poetry, confessional poetry, since Jupiter is in Cancer. I think Pisces can be Jupiter, if I recall. So, short confessional poetry. You might want to read. You might want to read some Sylvia Plath. Things like that. All right. Dark confessions, secret love affairs. If you are interested in starting a new YouTube channel, you might want to do a YouTube channel about love affairs gone wrong or something like that, or family drama stories or something of that nature. Um, this would be a good time to start a YouTube channel for that. Uh, YouTube channel about mysteries, strange stories, you know, secrets of the universe and stuff like that. Um, yeah, you may want to start a YouTube channel teaching people about family life or marriage life or love and romance. Um, if you are a person that romanticizes the old days, you might want to start a YouTube channel where you're romanticizing an old time period. There's a lady on YouTube who's romanticizing the 1950s, and her house looks like the 1950s. She dresses like the 1950s. Her kids is. I just love her channel because it's like a break from this time period. And she cooks recipes from the 1950s, and she's living so humble living, like, you know, a lot of people were doing in the 1950s, single moms and whatever. But I like her channel. Also, if you're into bags, you might want to start your own bag line. You might want to start a channel where you like do product review on bags or purses. Also, if you're into belly dancing, you might want to start a YouTube channel where you're learning how to belly dance. Okay, maybe that's something you was learning that, or a yoga channel, or a I'm giving y'all ideas because Saturn's in Aries, so you're being pushed to, you know, and Sagittarius came out too, so you're being pushed to leap into a new business, to be an emperor of a new business. I'm giving y'all some ideas here. Poetry, brooding, dreamy poetry, short, dark prose, or sad poetry, or let me see what else I can. I don't know if y'all like tea, but the Empress love her tea. So I don't know if some of y'all thinking about making your own tea company or tea blend. So maybe you might want to do a channel where you're like, I made my own tea every week. You make 3 new teas and you feature them and something like that. Or maybe you could do a project where you're painting a bunch of teacups. Off of that. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for a minute. Flick, get your paw off. No. My cat was trying to bite my cord in half while holding it. Okay. So, you might want to look at artwork from the Gilded Age. If you were thinking of inventing something, if you have an invention, this is the time to work on it because Virgo energy is out. So if you're like interested in creating artwork that deals with metal, or you want to work with metal, like metal jewelry, or working with pins, or like putting metal to jewelry, making jewelry that has to do with metal, or little things, that trinkets you put in your hair, like stuff like that, with like gemstones, bedazzling or something. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Out. Let's go. No, you're tearing up everything. I had to kick my cat out. So I don't know if you're into bedazzling stuff, but that might work as well. Gowns, dresses, things like that. Fine lace, working with like skinny threading, like embroidery, things like that. Old-fashioned hairdos. If you're going to go get your hair done, you might want to get a roller set. Or tell them you want your hair done like old-fashioned. You know, like where they have like they have like buns. You know, their hair is rolled up or something of that nature. The Empress, she's She could be a little bit elaborate, elaborate with her hairdos, kind of fancy. So I just gave y'all some ideas for, if you're jumping into starting a new YouTube channel. If you're into starting a channel for meditation or ASMR, this is the perfect time to do it, especially since people are like, that Saturn energy got people on edge at times. So doing SMR channels to relax people and stuff, that may actually become profitable for you. Let me pull out a fortune before I go. Now I do have some other things that I can recommend doing businesses that might end up being profitable, but I'll save that for the workshops. So here I'm gonna pull out a fortune and see what happened. Okay, this one right here. What is this? Fortune cookie. Ha! It came out. Believe in yourself and succeed. The fortune cookie says, believe in yourself and you will succeed. Lucky numbers is 34, 50, 43, 47, 1, and 38. Once again, the lucky numbers are 34, 50, 43, 47, 1, and 38. Okay. So you might want to play 441 on the lottery if you like playing the lottery, or 447, or 443, or 334, or 333, or 438. Yeah. Or 444, or 138. Those are just some lottery numbers. I just was pairing numbers together from what's on this paper here. Okay. I was going to do a reading where I show some numbers. I'll give y'all some numbers. I got a little bit of time. I checked the clock. Okay. All right. 10:11 on the clock. Let's just get some numbers out here. 11:11. I said 10:11 and the number 11 came out. Cosmic connection. Wow. Just never know. All right. I said number 1. I mentioned 1 earlier in this video and then 11 came out just now. 10:11:11. Okay. Shadow self. Some of y'all may want to do a little mind dump on your shadow self. Okay, number 4 is out again. That's 4444. That's 4 4s. All right. Walk your own truth. Angel scripture 35. So you can look up all these scriptures, whether you look at them up in the Bible or you're looking them up in your angel book. It's up to you. Okay. Gotta get ready to go. All right. You need to get back to the basics on something. Go back to the foundation of self and take inventory of what it's lacking. You can't build yourself up without maintaining all the good work you've already done. Journal today on one foundation part of your life that can use reinforcement. Okay. So I heard Sagittarius energy. So some of y'all got to look at the big picture. Maybe you need to make better plans, or your plans need to be some organization with your plans or something, because Capricorn energy is out, practical and planning. Capricorn energy could be like you're doing the same thing every day, routine every day. Something needs to be a part of your routine that was once a part of your routine that was working for you. Some of y'all was doing something that was working for you and you might have stopped, or you're not doing it that much. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. Once again, it said to give back today, so I gave back by doing readings, and I did pay for somebody's workshop earlier. And I'm gonna pay for another workshop. I think it'll be about $5, $5 to $10 for it. Help another creator out today. All right. Once again, if you'd like to send donation, you can send donations to my Cash App at Coach V Hunter. Thank you for listening, and please check the community news today for some very special announcements. I'll be posting announcements all week and this following weekend. Bye, everybody. Thank you for your donations.